Good morning, it's AM Tampa Bay with Jack Harris and Ted Webb, and we got it all, everything from the Byzantine to the banal. Got you covered here at 11 and a half minutes after 7 on a Monday morning, one of our top 10 favorite days of the week. There's still a controversy over whether or not the city of Tampa is trying to destroy Confederate history here by removing a 106-year-old Confederate monument that's in front of the Hillsborough County Courthouse in downtown Tampa. Commissioner Les Miller wants to get it out of there, but HK Edgerton, the former NAACP branch president and advocate of Southern civil rights, has other thoughts. And we talked about this last week. And what is the status of that right now?
McAllister.
Right now, there's a proposed motion to have it removed by one of the commissioners, but I think there's going to also be a proposed motion to have a protection ordinance for all veterans monuments in the state, in the county of Hillsborough, that all veterans monuments would be protected, including this particular one. But it's a wide monument, a wide protection ordinance.
This is David McAllister, by the way, not HK Edgerton. We're going to be hearing from him, too, because we talked with him about it last week. So basically now it's just a proposal, but there's an effort to try to protect them all.
Yes, there is, and I think it's things are heating up. This next county commission meeting is going to be a real flashpoint because the NAACP has put in print that they want to pack the House, and obviously from the last commission meeting when there were probably about 24 Southern supporters, they'll probably be back again, too, to support the commissioners that support keeping the monument.
So we could have a little clash there at the meeting. When is the next meeting anyway?
Wednesday morning.
This coming Wednesday morning. That'll be interesting to see. Be interesting to hear or be there. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people there covering it. And of course, you've got the controversy also on renaming Robert E. Lee Elementary School. That's one that's been ongoing as well, which is the same thing. People saying, oh, we got to get them out of here because we don't want any of that Southern history expressed in our schools or anything like that. What's the status of that one?
Right now, the school board has moved to begin the 18-month process of assessing the public's opinion about that. And, you know, we had a public opinion poll that Save Southern Heritage had accomplished that said that over 85%, closer to 90% of the population did not want that name changed.
HK, how are you getting involved in this? I'm getting involved in this because of the arrogance of ignorance of some of these people that are involved in this. Black folks should really love having the name of Lee, Forrest, or Jackson on their schools, on their streets. They should love having those integrated Confederate monuments just where they are now. And I certainly would like to talk about the smear campaign on General Robert E. Lee, a Christian man, a man who helped introduce the seed of Jesus Christ into the black community, just like General Thomas Stonewall Jackson. And I certainly enjoyed being at Les Miller's church yesterday and hearing his pastor talk about the love of Jesus Christ. And certainly I would love to have talked about Reverend Mac Lee, who was the body servant to General Robert E. Lee, who started the first credit union in America to help those black folks who were supposed to see freedom, who was educated by the funds left to him by General Lee, and a man who told the African people to get yourself educated, get yourself a job, keep your faith in our Lord and Master Jesus Christ, and beyond all else, trust only the Southern white man. I believe the Reverend Mac Lee knew what he was talking about. And I'm talking about this integrated army. When Black History Month comes around here in Tampa and across the Southland of America, they don't talk about the black Confederate soldiers like Hope Collier, a man who was acquitted of killing a white man, the first black man acquitted of killing a white man in the state of Mississippi. And also the man who was responsible for the name Teddy Bear. He was probably one of the most fierce of all the black Confederate soldiers. And after the war was over, Theodore Roosevelt was around here in the South on a bear hunt. couldn't find the bear. Hope Collier went out that morning, caught a bear, tied it to a tree, and told Roosevelt to shoot it. And he said no. And folks found out about it, and they started sending him bears from all across the country. Thus, we came
where
over to
Teddy Bear came
That's
from.
exactly where it came from.
We learned something this morning here
Yes, sir.
from HK.
Yes, sir. And certainly in talking about the Confederate monuments, and the people always want to call Mississippi the old racist Mississippi. Well, let's talk about James Harris, a former slave who became a Republican senator and gave the deciding vote to build a Confederate monument in the state of Mississippi. Nathan Bedford Forrest, right here, your own Napoleon Windbus, whose grandfather, Napoleon Nelson, rode with those 40-plus black men who rode with General Forrest, and who General Forrest said that no better Confederate ever lived. And thinking about that sermon that mighty fine preacher preached yesterday, Napoleon Nelson couldn't read or write, but he learned the King James Bible from the beginning to the end, and General Forrest called on him to be his chaplain.
Did you speak to Leslie Miller yesterday?
No, I was at the early morning service, and I guess he was too groggy to get up to come to the morning service. I wish I would have talked to Les Miller. Les Miller don't want to talk to me.
I bet not.
You know, and my mama always said, if you don't have something good to say about somebody, don't say something bad. But I certainly do wonder how he could be in such a wonderful church and have all the hate and the lies that man tell. I can't believe that a man claimed to be a Vietnam veteran could say that he walked past a integrated monument to the integrated army, the Confederate Army, and said it terrorized him. He wanted to bring it down. He needed to talk to some of those Vietnam veterans who came out of the boonies in Vietnam, and when they saw the Southern Cross talking about the Confederate battle flag, when they just said, oh my God, we safe at last. Because the Vietnamese love stealing the stars and stripes, but they wouldn't touch the Confederate battle flag. So I think Mr. Miller is basically, and maybe in his heart he wants to do something, but to satisfy the inequities of what he and a lot of folks who call themselves politicians who are supposed to help black folks and other folks in the community rise to social vertical mobility, they found an opportunity and issue that they can lay on the folks and act like they've done something for folks, but in the end, they haven't done a thing for black folks by attacking our monuments and our Southern heritage, but create the same kind of hate that came out of Reconstruction.
Well, HK, we are unfortunately out of time, because it's always great to hear from you for sure. And we appreciate your stopping by here along with David McAllister. And we'll be talking about this again soon as this continues to unfold.
I hope y'all invite me back before I leave town, because there's a whole lot I'd like to talk about here in these good Christian men.
We will do it, sir.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, HK.
Thank you,
HK Edgerton.
David, thank you.
It was great to hear from him.
Thank you all.